Hello, lovelies. Come closer. I have a tale to share today about the power of choice, fairness, and a little bit of real estate magic. Now, you know I'm all about showing you how to take control of your destiny, so listen up. This one's important. This is the tale of Billy, the first-time homebuyer. In the early 1900s, in the bustling town of Greenfield, there lived a young man named Billy. Billy had worked hard for years, saving every penny he could to buy a home. He dreamed of a small cottage with a red door and a garden full of daisies, where he could settle down and live a peaceful life. Oh, that sounds lovely. One sunny morning, Billy decided it was time to find his perfect home. As he was walking down the street, he saw a for sale sign in front of a house that looked just right. The house was small but charming, with a red door and a lovely garden. Everything Billy had imagined. He was so excited, he rushed to the local market to find Mr. Carter, a well-known real estate agent in town. Mr. Carter was an expert at selling homes, and everyone said he was very successful. Billy, full of hope, asked Mr. Carter to show him the house. When Billy mentioned the house with the red door, Mr. Carter's smile disappeared. He frowned and quickly said, "That house? It's a pile of termites. The roof leaks every time it rains, and the foundation has a crack from a burst pipe that you won't even notice until the floor starts to crack and break apart. I wouldn't waste your time with it. You don't want that one." Billy felt disappointed but trusted Mr. Carter. Instead of showing him the house he loved, Mr. Carter led him to a large, grand house nearby. "This house is beautiful," Mr. Carter said. "It's got lots of rooms, a big garden, and it's perfect for you." Billy wasn't so sure. The house was big, yes, but it didn't feel quite right. It didn't have the cozy, warm feeling Billy had imagined. But Mr. Carter insisted it was perfect for him. "Don't worry," Mr. Carter said. "This house is the best deal in town." Billy, unsure but trusting the expert, decided to buy it. As time went on, Billy realized that the house wasn't what he had hoped for. It was the pile of termites. Its roof was the one that leaked every time it rains, and its foundation had a crack from a burst pipe that he didn't notice until the floor started to crack and break apart. Billy began to question why he had bought the house in the first place. Then he remembered the little cottage with the red door, the one Mr. Carter had dismissed so quickly. Billy felt cheated. Why had Mr. Carter been so insistent on selling him a different house? He soon realized it was because Mr. Carter wouldn't make any money if he sold him the house he wanted, so he lied to him about everything to make a buck. He asked his lawyer friend about it, and he said, "Well, you didn't technically break the law. He wasn't representing you. It's your fault you didn't take the time to fully educate yourself on the process of home buying, even though you've never done it before, and there's so many laws and nuances to know. There just aren't any laws protecting you, the buyer, from making a bad investment. Buyer beware, I guess," and shrugged his shoulders. Around this time, Billy met Lucy, a new friend who had recently bought her own house. Which I know women couldn't have houses back in the early 1900s, but let's just play because, this is fun and it's a story. We've got to have some fantasy here. She told him about a new concept that was starting to gain traction, the buyer's agent. Someone who represented the buyer's interest, not the seller's. Lucy explained that these agents worked directly for the buyer and had the buyer's best interest at heart, aka a contracted fiduciary. They didn't push clients into houses they didn't want or pressure them into deals that didn't feel right. Instead, they listened to what the buyer truly needed and helped them find a house that was the best fit. He may not even have to pay extra for it because these agents could ask for a portion of the selling agent's commission because he was only doing half the work. It looked like a balanced system to hold both sides accountable on such a big purchase with so many facets and paperwork. Billy was intrigued. Could this buyer's agent thing really make a difference? Billy decided to look for a new house and called a local agent with a growing reputation of doing right by homebuyers named Mr. Smythe. Mr. Smythe took the time to understand exactly what Billy was looking for, a cozy home with a red door and a garden full of daisies. He didn't try to sell him a house that wasn't right for him. Instead, Mr. Smythe helped Billy find the perfect cottage, the one with the red door, just like Billy had dreamed. Mr. Smythe made sure Billy knew every detail about the house, pointing out both the good and the not-so-good parts, and guided him towards the professionals he needed to consult in regards to the not-so-good parts. He helped Billy negotiate the price as well as his own commission, ensuring he didn't pay too much for the home and out of pocket. That's important. For the first time, Billy felt confident in his decision. It felt good to not be taken advantage of, and he knew he had someone on his side who cared about his needs. Billy lived happily ever after in his new house, and when he outgrew it, he made sure that whoever was going to sell it would offer half their commission to the agent that represented the person who bought his home. This tradition carried on and gained popularity, but it was not the norm until the mid-1990s, when buyer's agency laws were finally passed. The end. But here's the kicker, my darlings. Things are changing in the world of real estate right now. The laws are shifting, and this could confuse you. I'm sure you've heard some uneducated people saying that sellers don't have to offer a commission to the buyer's agent anymore so they can save a buck, but let me tell you, don't be fooled. If that happens, the seller will likely lower the sales price of the home since they don't have to cover that cost. The listing agent isn't going to do both sides for free, and why would you hire the person representing the seller? Is this the early 1900s again? Would you hire the prosecuting attorney to represent you, the defendant? Of course not. If they want to sell that house, they'll work with you and your agent, and it's still the same deal in the end. It's just important for you to be aware of these changes. Ask the right questions and stay educated. This is where you have the power. The laws are changing, yes, but you don't have to feel lost in the shuffle. Your buyer's agent is here to guide you, and they are working for you, not the seller. Know your rights, ask the right questions, and make sure you're being taken care of. Don't settle for less than what you deserve. Remember, you're not just buying a house, you're making a decision that will affect your life, your future, and your peace. So take the time, do your research, and get the help you need. And if you need someone to guide you through this magic, well, you know where to find me. Follow me for more real estate tips and magic. I've got you covered.